welcome to all the fans traveling from out of town from Kelowna and from the island for this championship football action.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Inside BC Place Stadium. It is the third of 5 consecutive championship games here on Championship Saturday at the Subway Bowl. My name is Justin Morris, and I am joined up in the booth by Matt Macri. And Matt, I hope we have a game that is a little more evenly matched here in the AAA final, or at the very least moves at a quicker pace, because that was nearly 3 hours in the junior varsity AA game. Just an incredible offensive performance from the champions.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
For GW Graham. And that was, in fact, the highest scoring game in BC high school football history. This one gets started with an onside kick recovery, and Belmont able to jump on that one. They had to start the game with a kick, and they're going to start the game on offense nevertheless.
Well, they do a good job here on the onside kick of getting the ball to bounce really high and getting all their bodies across that 10 yards before the ball starts coming back down. And they had boxed out the defense, the receiving team, and got the ball themselves.
As the Bulldogs go to work on offense for the first time today.
Well, right away, number 9, the guy that gave the ball to, we don't have on our list here.
I believe that's Jordan Russell, who's listed as 38 on our sheet.
Oh, okay.
And a great carry that'll bring up a first down right away, as they go right back to the run. And Brennan Blondeau is the one who will run it up the gut. 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5. Already the pace significantly higher than what we saw in the AA game. These two teams moving fast. Pass complete out to the left side into the hands of Riley Burfello.
He gets it up to Riley Burfello quickly, but Riley's not able to pick up very much yardage whatsoever here. The defender's right on him to slow him down until his buddies can get there to help him out.
But a nice completion to start the day for Hunter Bowles. Bulls, I think, just signaled for a timeout. Nope. Has a man in motion, takes the snap, hands it off. Into the hands of Jordan Russell. Russell brought down by the Kelowna Owls defense. A great tackle.
And Russell here, he gets going to the outside, but then he's got tons of space, but turns upfield right into the defender. If he kept those wheels going and kept running for the sideline, he would have had way more than enough for a first down.
It's Aiden Vint who comes up with the tackle for the Owls. And we're in a 4th down situation, 2 yards to go. Hunter Bowles takes the snap, hands it off. They're going to go for it. Brennan Blondeau tried to force it up the gut, but is that enough? They're going to say it is.
And Blondeau does a good job lowering those shoulders, powering forward, getting that ball out there, getting them enough yardage for that first down.
Bulldogs rolling to start this game. Great intensity, great quickness. Hunter Bowles takes the snap, steps back in the pocket, will roll out to the right side. He's got pressure coming from all sides, and he's wrapped up. They're going to blow the whistle, despite the fact he was never taken down.
Well, he stopped the forward progress,
Of
so
course, yes.
you know that's good enough. But here you go, you got Hunter Bowles here, takes off for a run, and he's got some room, but he decides to pull up and try and make a move here. I think if he just uses those wheels, he gets back to at least the line of scrimmage, maybe even picks up a few yards there.
Instead, he is sacked for a loss of 4, 2nd and 14.
There's a huge difference watching the varsities last week over the junior varsities. A lot more confidence in their abilities to get to that outside edge and take that outside edge. Whereas today we've seen a lot of hesitation. As soon as they see a defender, they try to reverse the field.
Jason Alexander tried to take that one up the gut, stopped before he could go too far.
Yeah, not a lot of room to run on this Owls defense, that's for sure.
His friends call him Costanza. This time the Bulldogs look to the sky, and what an arm on Hunter Bowles, but his intended receiver, Baudry Palis,
well, I
interfered with.
I don't know about this one. When you watch a replay here, it looks like it was incidental, just the feet got caught up here, and not so much a pass interference.
Yeah, I'd have to take another look at it, and we're going to get an opportunity to do just that on the Subway replay.
And a good throw here by Bowles, get the ball down the field. But, yeah, no, we didn't catch too much of the replay there. But it didn't look like there was really any fighting going on, but just a wrap up of the legs.
It's going to be a costly penalty for the Owls, whether they deserved it or not. As Belmont now at the 15 with a fresh set of downs, and this offense has been rolling out the gate. Handoff to Jordan Russell.
Great defensive play here. Number 2, Tariq Brown comes downhill and just wipes the feet right out from underneath Russell. Russell's got some wheels. He's getting to the outside. And then number 2, Tariq Brown, goes to town.
We were joking during the last game, of course, Matt, that I don't know that either AAA team in this final could impress me more than what we saw from GW Graham in the AA final. This game feels like it's on fast forward relative to what we saw in the one earlier. Just the speed and intensity that clearly shows the difference between double and AAA.
Yeah. No, I hear you there. That's for sure. Well, and like you said, too, I mean, we could take the winner of this game and put them up against that GW Graham team, and I think they'd come out on the losing side. That GW Graham team is just so solid all around. And not taking away from these two teams, playing in the AAA finals, great teams, but that was a whole nother level that we saw earlier. What was it, 5 times they scored on the first play of their series?
Yeah.
First play.
You might not see a game like that playing on easy mode in Madden. You know, there's
96 points scored.
There's always one guy in the video game who's a game breaker, whether that's, you know, Clinton Portis in NFL 2K5 or Michael Vick in one of those Madden games.
Yeah.
It's just unfair to play with him, and that was exactly the kind of performance that we saw from Logan Buckwitz.
Yeah.
Video game stuff. Still glowing about that, but of course we got a fresh game in front of us here.
Like you said, this game's moving quite quickly.
Hunter Bowles has a man in motion. Take Takes the snap, is going to look to pass. Nope, feels the pressure coming. Will roll out to the right side, gets the pass away in the end. And it is just shy of completing with Riley Burfello.
You see, Bulls wants that one back. He knows he put just a little bit too much on that. And he knew he rolls out here. Great job of the rollout. Pulls up. Beautiful ball, but it's just too far ahead of him.
Inches away from Burfello, but inches away from Nick Tonagai for the Kelowna Owls as well. Tried to get a hand on that in his own end zone. Instead, it falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete. 4th down here. They're going to go for it. Why not? Bone of Romont hustling off the sidelines into position at wide receiver. Bowles takes the snap, tried to run it himself, brought down immediately. Great tackle by Nate Boscheman.
And Boscheman, he wasn't going for anything there but the tackle. He knew that Bowles was doing something with that ball, so he came right after him. And look like Bowles was faking the throw, the swing pass to the outside. It sent his running back in motion and was going to just run that himself. But Boscheman had something to say about that. You can tell the difference between when we have 2 in-town teams against 2 versus 2 out-of-town teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fan base definitely shrinks. Which means there's more people listen to us online.
But I will say, we were treated to a live marching band performance in the AA varsity or AA junior varsity final earlier.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the Belmont Bulldogs who brought a cheer squad with them. Cheerleaders on the sidelines. Keeping their fans engaged, the ones that did travel to be here today. And we talked about Nate Boscheman making a big defensive play on that last stop. He's the quarterback for this Owls team as well.
Oh, no way.
And has quite an arm on him from what we just saw, though that first pass attempt was incomplete.
Yeah, and there's a
holding penalty as well. So repeat first down, 1st and 20. And that's really going to put Boscheman's arm to the test here as he's pinned deep in his own end. Boscheman felt the pressure coming, elected to run it himself, and picked up a gain of about 4 yards on the carry. Actually, they're just going to call it 2.
Yeah, he's not going to get much off of that one. He had a bit of time. I think he felt pressure that wasn't really there. He had some time here. He still could have, I think, made a play with that ball.
He sees Sterling May come in, and we've got another look at it on the Subway replay there. And basically made the decision to peel out as soon as he saw the man.
Yeah.
But you're right, he had more time than he thought.
We had Noah Gross coming out here to the outside that I think he could have gone it to.
Another flag on the play.
Well, I think it's going to be an offside on the defense, and it's going to go forward 5 yards.
You are correct, offside against the Bulldogs. And that will pretty well negate the original penalty flag against the Owls.
Yep.
2nd down, but they are back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10 from their own 11. Nate Boscheman takes the snap, hands the ball off, and oh my, off to the races.
Great tackle.
Is Noah Gross. And that was gross.
That was gross. It could have gotten grosser, but Baudry Payless was shutting him down here. And whips the leg out from underneath him. And he turns upfield and he beats a whole bunch of defenders, but Payless was able to get and just stuck a stick in the spokes there and knocked him off his bike.
First down for the Owls. Boschman. Pass out to the right side. Connects with Noah Gross, but I think the plan there was a short pass with some yards after the completion. Unfortunately, he's wrapped up pretty much as soon as he takes that pass in.
Well, and it's Hunter Bowles that comes in and makes a great tackle, wraps up both legs, and then helps him up off the ground.
So really, both quarterbacks in this game are also studs on defense. If the early stages are any signs anyway. Nate Boschman once again takes the snap, will hand the ball off right to Noah Gross. Noah Gross.
And just can't get a hole there.
And actually, oh, no.
Yeah, no, it's 28 Caleb Schlachter.
Yeah.
That got that jet sweep there. Schlachter comes across, and he gets turned. I think he gets turned up too soon here. If he could have gotten to the outside, he might have done a little bit better. But, yeah, there was just no room for him straight up the middle.
If he gets to the outside, that might be a first down, honestly.
Yeah.
Given the quickness that he was showing there. And, yes, that was number 28, not number 20. Similar looking numbers, though. I apologize. Nate Boschman to take the snap, 3rd and 9. Thought about passing. Oh, he does it in the end. Very close to being at the line of scrimmage when he let that one go. I thought he was just going to run it himself. Instead, it's a pass that was intended for Aiden Vint, goes incomplete. You'll get another look at it on the Subway replay.
He rolls out here. Nice little pass there, but Vint stopped running. I think he was thinking the same thing, that he was going to run it himself. So he slowed up to be a blocker, and he was needed to get out there to be the receiver still.
So they will kick this one away. Out of bounds at about the 40. They're going to say right at the 40, in fact. And my hat goes off to the officiating crew here today as well. I mean, Matt, this is our 3rd consecutive game of the morning into the afternoon. It's been the same officials working all 3 games here today, too.
Oh, I think they got a couple of extras, because there's a few of them that I saw earlier that aren't out right now.
All right.
Yeah, but they do all 5 games, and they usually only have like 2 or 3 subs, right? Yeah. So it makes for a long day. I mean, we're sitting in chairs and talking. They're running with plays down there.
Yeah, they got to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
They got to see things that we cannot from where we are situated.
Well, and here's the thing, too, is we got cameras, we got replays, we got a big screen. We can see things that happen that they can't.
Yeah. They got to get it right away.
They got to get it right, live action with no second chances. And then they get yelled at by the fans when the fans see the replay on the big screen.
Brennan Blondeau with a 4-yard pickup on first down. We were about to see second, but a whistle blows that dead. I believe there's a flag on the play. There is indeed. It's going to go against the offense.
Yeah, it was a procedure call.
2 penalties? Because he signaled it twice.
Huh. No, just the one.
Interesting. 2nd down, 11 yards to go. 4-yard pickup negated by the flag. But another run up the gut. Brought down after a gain of 6. 3rd and 5.
Well, he was able to get back what he lost on that penalty and an extra yard on top of that. Good run here. And it's number 9. Is that Russell?
I believe so,
30,
yeah.
33 is
Jordan Russell.
Yeah. 38, Jordan Russell, number 9. That's going to give them a first down right there. They got the defense to jump. A good hard count.
They go from 3 and 5 to 1st and 10 thanks to an offside from the defense. That's going to take them right to the middle of the field as well, 50-yard line. Right at the midpoint. And oh my, Brennan Blondeau looked like he was going to cut loose. Brought down, but it was still a pretty big pickup, 15 yards.
Well, he's just such a tank through the middle there, and blows through everybody here, gets some good blocking, blows up the middle, and then it's number 7, the quarterback, Nate Boscheman, that comes in and takes him down. Went back to Blondeau a second time, but he's only able to get 2 yards on that one.
He's having a day. Already, we're only in the first quarter, and Blondeau already looking very good. Second and 7. Hunter Bowles takes the snap, tries to run it himself up the middle. Good pickup.
He takes a snap. It's a bit of a high snap here. You'll see it on the replay. Bit of a high snap. So he jumps up, grabs the ball, but there's no second thought. He was running that the whole way, gets behind his blocker, and picks up a couple of yards. Makes it a manageable third down.
3rd and 3. Couple different ways they could go on this one. They're going to elect to run it up the gut. And that should move the chains. Hand off to Jordan Russell. I really like these Belmont jerseys.
Yeah, me too. They're easy to read the numbers.
And just like the style and you know what they got going on in the armpit area, very unique, very sharp looking. It's a good looking kit out there for the Bulldogs, who continue to go to work on offense. Hunter Bowles electing to run it himself and nearly had his helmet knocked off as he was tackled to the ground.
Well, there wasn't a lot of room for him there. He tries to get up the field, but the defense wasn't having any of it. I think he picked up about 2 yards there. And he comes up here and he hits the wall and he tries to turn inside, but the wall just keeps on going. And it's Nate Boscheman, the other quarterback playing defense, that takes him down.
Got another look at the helmet nearly coming off there on the Subway replay as well. 17 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Time for one more play if they can get it away in time. Bulls hands the ball off to Blondeau, and he's wrapped up for a loss, which will bring up 3rd and long after a great tackle from Jack Marsland for the Owls to end the quarter.
Yeah, so all the positive yardage they got there was just taken away from them. Big number 52, which is Jack Marsland, wraps up Blondeau and just rips him to the ground. Now we're going to flip over to the other end.
And that was a first quarter that seemingly flew by relative to what we saw in the JV game.
Yeah.
The AA JV game, I should say.
Well, literally half the time for that first quarter than we did for the last one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We're still sitting at 0-0. I think a lot of the problem with the first game, that last game, though, was when they score so quick, time doesn't tick away on the field because every time stops after the goal. So, I mean, it was, 4 or 5 times they scored on one play. And now you're getting set up for the extra point. You're getting set up for the kickoff. You're getting the offense and defenses back out there.
And that's how you get a game that lasts nearly 3 hours.
Yeah.
And throws a wrench into the scheduling plans of a marathon of games to be played on this field here today.
Well, it almost feels like they told us these two teams on the field now, if you can catch us back up on schedule, you get some free Subway.
We're about a half an hour behind schedule. This one was supposed to start at 1:30. I think it was closer to 2 o'clock that it got going.
Yeah, first half of that game was 97 minutes.
Unbelievable. But they've swapped sides now, and the Belmont Bulldogs go right back to work on offense. Snap into the hands of Hunter Bowles, and Bowles will try to swing it out to the left side on third down. Hauled down before he could even get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of a couple yards. Will bring up 4th and 13.
It was number 2, Tariq Brown has got some great wheels. Bowles takes off running, but Tariq Brown is in pursuit and wraps him up around the hips and drags him down from behind. Nothing you can do about that.
Little play action pass there. Complete to Riley Burfello, and Burfello with plenty of yards after the catch goes all the way to the end zone. It's the Belmont Bulldogs who strike first in this one. No offense in the first quarter. It only took 43 seconds of the second to get on the board. And what speed and quickness to just rocket right up the sidelines for Riley Burfello.
Well, and you look at the moxie of Hunter Bowles here. He sits in that pocket. They're doing the screen, so they let the defense through, and the defense is coming after him, and he just drops it right over top of their heads, right into Burfello's arms. But as he's doing that, he's running backwards because those are some big boys coming at him.
I meant to say screen pass there. I said play action. It's been a long day. It feels like I've watched 5 games already, and we're only 1 quarter into the third one here on the day.
A little wide on the kick there. It's no good.
6-0. Belmont leads. And you can hear the cowbells going wild, as this is a crowd very happy to see their team strike first.
Yeah, the Kelowna defense has done well. I mean, they did let in the score, but they've been very, very tough on this Belmont team. Now their offense needs to get to work here.
Feels like it's been a little while since we saw Nate Boschman in the offense.
Yeah.
So a pretty lengthy drive from Belmont.
Well, it was only the 3rd drive of the game.
Yeah.
I think at this time in that last game, we had about 15 drives in already.
Well, when the drives last 1 play. Sure.
And Nate Boschman's probably eager to get under center there and show what their offense can do as well. Now to open the game, there was an onside kick here. So I wonder if they're going to go for the same thing here.
I mean, it's risky, but they already have the lead, and if they were willing to do it at 0-0 to open the game, who knows? Why not?
Well, they only got 1 guy on the front line. Yeah, they're offside. Their whole group was offside.
We're looking for an onside kick, instead had an offside kick. And they'll retake it.
I like the way they bring everybody in the horseshoe. They kick the squibbler. They get all the defenders to go there. But the problem with that is that you can't get past the kicker. And when you bring in that horseshoe, the 2 guys on the very end are right at where the ball is. So if they move slightly, they're offside.
They go for just a standard kickoff here, having already revealed their hand. No, they try to squib it again. And it's nearly successful. Wow. Instead, Scooped up by the Owls, number 27, Jack Nyros.
Nyros does a really good job here just diving on the ball. It's the up guy in front of him that I think does the best job, because look at, here comes the big hop, and he, you know what? Just get underneath it. Don't even bother. Just get underneath it. Let it hop over your head. Nyros can pick it up at the 46-yard line. Still good field position.
Very good field position. As Nate Boschman will try to engineer his first scoring drive of the day. But again, as we mentioned, only his second drive of the game, as time really ticked away in a hurry on that first quarter. He'll pass the ball off to Noah Gross. Gross up the right side, able to pick up a first down and probably an extra 7 on top of that, a 17-yard carry. And he's been very good, though that might have been Caleb Schlachter again.
No, that was Gross. Number 20.
I'm having a hard time reading those numbers.
Number 20, Noah Gross. He just full wheels all the way to the outside edge. Just love it. That's what you want to see on a running back when he's doing one of those sweeps out, is just speed all the way through. Don't overthink it. Don't change directions. Don't try and turn up too soon. Get your speed to the outside edge.
Hand off again. Right up the gut. This time it is Schlachter. Caleb Schlachter off to the races into the end zone. Tie game. Touchdown Owls.
Caleb's so quick here, and he does turn upfield at the perfect time. That O-line just opened a hole for him. So here he comes across it, and he just turns up right away, full speed, and he's into the second level, up to the next level, and then he just makes a move, and he's gone.
You got a guy basically trying to make a move on Boschman who just gets leveled at the line.
Yeah.
And that's what opens up the hole. All of a sudden, there's all kinds of room for Schlachter to run upfield.
And that one's good.
And so with a point after attempt that is successful, it's the Kelowna Rockets, or that's, of course, their WHL team. The Kelowna Owls, I mean to say. Sorry, I've got hockey on the brain. I'm going to be working the WHL later this evening, but that's neither here nor there. The Kelowna Owls, who take their first lead, 7-6.
Well, and Belmont's going to come back here hard. They want to make sure they stay in this game. They want to put some points up on every drive if they can. I mean, that's typically the goal anyways. The Owls defense wants to get a stop.
And Belmont just working rapid fire, it seemed like. Both of their drives. Boom, boom, boom. Play after play after play. They know what they want to do.
Well, and you can tell it's a well-coached team, because they come out here and they got a game plan in effect, and they just execute it.
And it's a big change from what we've seen earlier in the day, both in the Bantam final to start us off at 8:30 this morning, as well as the Junior Varsity AA. In both those games, a lot of looking to the sidelines for the play call.
Yeah.
A lot more confidence in the offense to know what they're doing so far in this one. And a big carry from Hunter Bowles on the kick return. Started deep in his own end and finished up at about the 49 inside enemy territory.
Well, Bowles does a great job. He kind of fumbles with the ball a bit here, but he starts running forward, does a quick little jab step, and then just runs down the line of blockers for what's there available to him. Jumps over a defender there, but then he's taken down hard from behind. And I do believe it's number 9, Risto Zimmer, that brings him down from behind.
Started at his own 10, ends up at his own 47, 37 yards on the return. Not bad at all, and a pretty impressive showing from the quarterback of all people. Usually it's, you know, your star running back, maybe a receiver who gets put into that kick return position. But, I mean, clearly they've already shown no reluctance to let Hunter Bowles run the ball himself, and he is clearly very good at it.
Yeah, I love the, you know, earlier we saw him pull up and try and change directions, but the confidence on that run back there That he gets that jab step out there and then runs down the line hard. And he's just following his blockers, taking what's in front of him, and picks up 37 yards on that play.
Quick timeout, allowing the Bulldogs to confer amongst themselves.
You got Kelowna here wants to make sure that they get a stop. They want that ball back. You know, there's still 10 minutes in the half, but they want to use as much of that 10 minutes as possible.
Yeah, it was the Belmont Bulldogs who just ate up the clock in the first quarter. Kelowna has not had a ton of opportunities to put their offense to work.
I love the running of this Blondeau. He's your typical power back. He just hits whatever's at the line. He doesn't wait for a hole. He makes a hole right there. Hits the defender there. He's driving those feet. 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders wrapped up around him, and a couple of his own players underneath him.
Handoff to Jordan Russell. Russell, quick pickup, or actually may have lost yardage. He did indeed. They were 2nd and 5, now find themselves 3 and 6.
Yeah, the defense definitely number 28. Caleb Schlachter gets in there really quick and gets a hold of him and just ties him up.
Pass comes to Hunter Bowles, and he will immediately run it up himself.
Yeah, he's gonna get flagged on this. He got up and spun the football. And we saw this last week. They do not like it. Oh, no, it's going to be a block in the back. We saw this last week, though, with the spinning of the football. The referees do not like it, and they will flag them on it.
We saw an unsportsmanlike penalty as well on the first touchdown of the day in the junior varsity AA final for GW Graham. And I noticed, Matt, I don't know if you did as well, that we didn't see any more end zone celebrations after that first one.
No, we did not.
Coaching staff quickly put a stop to that. Though maybe they just scored so many touchdowns.
They ran out of them?
Ran out of celebrations, yeah.
Well, and that's the big thing here is that, you know, you don't want to embarrass your opponents, number one. But number two, you don't want to get stupid penalties. And on that play, they got 2 different penalties that ended up with them way back. They were kicking off from their 15-yard line.
As far as the game at hand, Hunter Bowles stopped at the line, and he will take another snap here, 2nd and 10. Hands the ball off immediately. And we get another look at that beautiful running game of Brennan Blondeau right up the middle. Big pickup. No, about 6 or so, but for the hole he was looking at, I'd say that's a pretty big pickup.
I don't know where you saw a hole there. I saw him run through a brick wall is what I saw.
Exactly.
Like, it's just huge. Oh, I guess there was a bit of a hole there. He got skinny. But he just runs so well, so powerful. And I love that he gets that second arm over the ball, protects the ball, keeps his legs moving.
Bowles takes the snap, hands off to Blondeau once again, and immediately wrapped up by the legs.
Diego Parada piranha to leg right there. And that it was all he could do to stop Blondeau was to get over there and get that leg. And a nice quick handoff here. Blondeau's going to power through, but Parada, no. He's not letting him go anywhere.
And Blondeau's been a Blue Devil for the Bulldogs to start this one, but on that play, the Devil wears Parada. Hunter Bowles going to go for it on 4th down. They need 5 yards for a first. Handoff into the hands of Jordan Russell, but there was a flag on the play pretty much immediately out of the gate.
I think the flag's going to be a hold.
Russell did pick up the yardage necessary for a first, but
nope, he's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were so many bodies in that pile that It looked like he'd made it. Easier to judge when plays way out close to the sidelines, too. But it's a penalty that's against the offense. It is going to be declined.
Yeah.
So a turnover on downs, and the Kelowna Owls come up with a big stop midway through the second quarter. And again, another drive from Belmont that just ate so much time off the clock. But this one is ticking by right quick.
See, and I don't know how teams do this when having their quarterback playing offense and defense. Like when I'm coaching, I want my quarterback to come off when the defense is on so I can talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see out there? What's going on? You know, I mean, you got your quarterback out there getting tired out playing offense and defense. I just don't know how teams do it.
Nate Boschman with the handoff puts it in the hands of Noah Gross, and another disgusting carry from Gross. 15 yards, maybe more.
Yeah,
That might have been 17, in fact. It will move the chains, certainly. And we'll take another look at it on the Subway replay.
It burst straight up the middle there. He's a little stutter step, very patient, and then as soon as the hole opens, he's gone. Accelerates so quickly.
Hauled down by the left arm, which was not carrying the ball. But it just goes to show, you don't have to wrap a guy up all the way. Just hang on to whatever part of him you got and make sure he can't go any further. Noah Boschman will take the snap once again and hand it off this time to Caleb Schlachter. He's got the only touchdown in the game, and he runs so hard he just knocked an opponent's helmet off. Brennan Blondeau lost his lid.
Yeah, and he's going to have to, he should have to come off the field here. He's got to, the ref's telling him off the field, make sure your helmet fits on properly. And I'll tell you, and this is a bit of a pet peeve of mine, is I find a lot of the times the kids leave the chin straps loose just so for easy on, easy off with the helmet.
It didn't take much to knock that one off.
No, and I tell them, and especially with my kids, I told them it's not a fashion accessory. It's a safety restraint.
Absolutely.
Tighten it up,
Especially when the game is being played as fast as this one. The collisions are that much more serious.
So the ball's coming back here quite a ways. I think they're saying that it was a face mask that pulled the. Yeah, it is. They're 15 yards, so it's a face mask that got the helmet off his head.
Huh. I didn't see that, both on the play itself and on the replay, but I will trust the officials, who, of course, have keener eyes than mine. Noah Boschman will have to do it all over again. Hands the ball off once more, this time to Noah Gross. Gross to the left side, forced out of bounds, but did he pick up the first before he was pushed out the sidelines?
He's going to be about a yard short.
It's going to be very, very close.
We had a great run, though. I mean, he had a huge run here up the side, and good wheels, just takes that step, freezes the defense, then turns his wheels on the outside.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So
a little technical glitch here that nearly deafened us in the booth. Our apologies.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be another flag here on the play.
Again.
And it's going to march back 5 yards. They're shooting themselves in the foot here because they're getting this positive yardage from Noah Gross, but before they can even get the next play off, they get a penalty, and that sticks them back another 5 yards. So instead of being third and a yard, it's 3rd and 6 yards.
Well, Noah Gross has done it twice already. Why not go for 3? See if he can push them over the line for a first this time.
We talked about those early game jitters, but we're almost at the halfway mark here of this game. So
Nate Boschman gets the ball downfield, but overthrown. He was looking to connect with Aiden Vint.
Well, there's going to be a flag on this because, there's a hold here, a defensive holding. Number 13, Hunter Bowles got a hold of the arm of Aiden Vint there before he can even get off the line. So that's definitely going to move the ball forward, and it'll be an automatic first down.
So after a series of flags that went against the Owls that looked like they were going to derail this drive, instead it's a penalty against the Bulldogs that will move the chains in a very major way. Actually, not as far as I was thinking.
That's a 10-yard holding penalty, automatic first down. If the ball was catchable or was it closer to them, it would have been 15 for pass interference.
Yeah. Just looked like the referee had his marching shoes on and then came to an abrupt stop at the 46. Boschman, 1st and 10, inside enemy territory, deep in the pocket, feels the pressure coming, peels out. Great job to keep this play alive, and as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, lets the pass go, and it's picked off. What a sequence of events. Nate Boschman did such a wonderful job to scramble out of the pocket, but perhaps he was a bit too scrambled as that pass did not have the accuracy he might have liked, and instead it's the other number 7, Sterling May, coming up with a big grab, or actually that's number 1, Riley Burfello, who of course has the Belmont Bulldogs touchdown on the board in this game as well.
I think everything about that throw by Nate Boschman is coach's nightmare. On the scramble to his right, jumps in the air and throws a cross body back to his left across the field into coverage.
And we'll see if the Owls can force a turnover of their own. I know they've been trying to strip the ball on most of their tackles. Garen Hardesty, the carry for the Bulldogs, tries to go right up the middle and picks up 4 in the process. 2nd and 6. Hunter Bulls will hand the ball off again. They'll try to run it right up the gut once more. Just a mess of bodies in there, though, and Garen Hardesty, 2nd consecutive carry this time, picks up 2. 3rd and 4. Nice little shovel back to Garen Hardesty again, and this time he will get a gain that will move the chains.
Well, the Bulldogs here are really mixing it up. They give him a full dose of Blondeau and now a full dose to Hardesty, and then they mix in some passing, and then Hunter Bowles runs with the ball himself. They really have a lot of weapons there on the offense so they can mix this up.
Some very skilled runners up and down their lineup. Right now, 1st and 10 from the 26 as they'll go for the handoff once again, right back to Hardesty once more.
Yeah, one too many times to the same spot.
Brought down for a loss. Taking a look at it on the Subway replay.
Number 27, Jack Nairo's in there for a great stop.
Second and 10 after that stop on Hardesty. Snap comes to Bowles. Bowles puts the ball in the air. Long bomb and connects to Burfello.
Unbelievable. Burfello caught that over his shoulders in double coverage. This is a bit of a rainbow of a throw here. It's really high up in the air, but it drops so nicely. Burfello sees it all the way in and holds on to it.
And he barely even looked back, Matt.
No, barely even looked back.
He just knew that it would be there.
Tariq Brown right in there on the catch.
And that's 2 improbable catches for Burfello. First, the interception on the defensive side.
Well, they get a personal foul penalty after the play. So he's going to march back 15 yards and be 1st and 25.
Ooh.
You get a huge play like that to get you out of the shadow of your end zone and turn around and cough up a bunch of yardage here.
Brought back to their own 44 after having been on the opposition 41. Oh, they're moving the chains too, so it's just going to be 1st and 10.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it was a personal foul, so they would move the chains on that.
Bowles takes his time, gets the pass away. Had a couple of receivers in position, but there's some jockeying after the ball fell incomplete. That was Tariq Brown who got tangled up, I believe, with Sterling May.
Noah Gross comes in here and knocks his ball off, so really good throw here, and Gross just jumps underneath. And then I think Tariq Brown thought that Sterling May caught the ball, so he flips him to the ground.
It was actually Beaudry Palis.
Oh.
May was the other receiver in the area.
Yeah.
But there's a flag, and this time it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Owls.
So it's going to go back the other way to the 41-yard line.
Yep, we come back to where we were to begin with.
Goes around, comes around.
Guess so. And actually, Sterling May was the player who jumped in and made sure that Palis did not respond in any way.
Yeah.
You've already drawn the flag. Do not retaliate.
Yep. Well, it's huge. I mean, the play's huge because it gives them back their yardage they lost on a bad penalty to just the play before.
Hunter Bowles, 1st and 10 from the enemy 41. Literally the exact spot as he shakes loose and runs it himself. Some great yardage. Bowles just runs out of space at about the 26. Picks up the 1st down, though, and puts his team in tremendous territory. That's actually the 21. So he is just on the cusp of the red zone as play continues with a fresh set of downs.
Well, his biggest impediment there until he ran out of space was his own blocker kind of got in front of him. But he gets down that. Just keep stepping to the outside. Defense stepped up on him, and he stepped to the outside every time.
Bowles takes the snap and will look to run it himself again. And that was the play right out of the huddle, you have to think, because he didn't even think about passing or handing it off.
No, I was straight to him, and he was running with that ball the whole way.
Well, we've seen so often today and over the last couple of weeks, teams trying to ride the hot hand when they find something that works. Bowles certainly worked on the last play, so why not try it again?
When he steps under the defender, number 1, Cassian Kfish, really nicely. Kfish is coming up to cut him off, and he steps up underneath him, turns it back up the middle. Only picks up about 3 yards on the play there. Well.
And we have an injured player on the field. Kang Chow for the Bulldogs being helped off by a coach and fellow player.
So,
can't quite make it to the sidelines.
I'm not sure. Oh, there's a player on the field that was helping him off, and it has to be
somebody who has to
come off the bench, I guess. Well, it's kind of ridiculous if you ask me. You're helping an injured player get off the field. The ref stops him and makes him sub somebody else in.
As he immediately goes right to the trainer's table and is favoring one of his legs. The play will continue. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Ball on the 19. Bowles puts receivers in motion. Will throw it over to the left side, complete. But not so much for yards after the carry, after that connection with, once again, Garen Hardesty.
And it's Caleb Schlachter that gets in there and tears Hardesty down to the ground right away after the catch.
3rd down.
About 6 yards. It's tough to go from the scoring pace of the previous game to come to this. I mean, I think we had almost 70 points on the board at the end of the first half, and here we got 13.
but it's had some good intensity to it.
Oh, the speed of this game has been so much better, for lack of a better word, because they just keep going and going and going. Here it's been a little bit slow with the injury and then the, timeouts and whatnot, but the intensity of this game has been phenomenal.
Hunter Bowles signals for the man in motion and throws, looking to the end zone. Bowles connects. Complete. What a pass. Beaudry Palis. Touchdown Belmont, and they pull ahead by 5 with 1:33 remaining in the opening half.
Well, that's what you call getting mossed right there. Defender's in a perfect spot to defend this ball, and the receiver just goes up over top of him and pulls it out of his hands. Great job by Beaudry Palis to hold on to that ball.
That was Kieran Colton for the Kelowna Owls, who was in perfect position to play that defensively and has to just be looking skyward afterwards.
Well, it's you gotta be frustrated as a defender there because you did everything right and still lost.
Flag on the play before we even see what they try to do is they go for the extra
Procedure,
point.
yeah. They move it back 5 yards, do it again. So they're going for the 2-point convert here just because they're behind by 1.
And they're still going to go for it despite the 5-yard penalty.
Yep. Well, they want to make it so that if Kelowna comes back and scores, they're even with that convert, but no luck on that throw right there.
He was looking to connect with Riley Burfello, who's got a touchdown already in this game. Instead, it's a 5-point difference, 12-7. 2 receiving TDs for the Belmont Bulldogs. Burfello with 1. We just saw another remarkable one from Beaudry Palis. And pretty fine day thus far for Hunter Bowles, who is running the ball himself extremely well and has a pretty good arm as far as just getting that ball deep. As we saw, the long bomb led directly to that touchdown.
He tried to, on that extra point there, he tried to thread the needle a little bit too hard. The ball was out front and low. I think if he put a bit of more of a lob on that and led his receiver, I think that he had a great chance. He had huge real estate between him and the left sideline there, so he could have dragged him a bit more out of bounds, or towards the out of bounds.
Not a lot of time left on the clock for the Kelowna Owls to respond. And, of course, that's been the story of this game so far, is how much time Belmont eats away on the board just by having these continuous drives. Only scored twice.
Yep.
But they haven't had that many more drives than the ones they've scored on, really. As an onside kick is recovered, perhaps, by Riley Burfello, or are they going to say that the kick didn't go far enough?
Well, he got the ball. He landed on the 50 or the 49-yard line here, but when he gets the ball, he's on the other side of the 50 in the air. Let's see on the replay here. Here comes the ball, and it's up in the air, and there he grabs it there. He's on one side of the 50, but lands on this side. And, yeah, they're giving it to Belmont.
That's very close, but I do think it's the right call. I'd have to probably take 4 more looks at it to be certain.
I'm not 100% sure how that works because he's in the air and he gets the ball The ball in his hands are behind the 50, but he lands and his body was already crossed the 50.
I don't know if he was behind, though. It looked like it might have been right on the line.
Yeah, it was close, that's for sure.
Like very, very borderline.
Yeah.
If not right directly, literally on the borderline.
Yeah, the great part about it is they're paid to make that call, and not
That's
us.
true, yeah. That's true. I just get to question it from afar. I don't get yelled at after the game.
Yeah.
1:03 to go as the Belmont Bulldogs continue to eat the clock. Wow, a little
Flea flicker.
fake flea flicker. And Hunter Bowles still gets the ball away, but he's picked off. Maybe the trick play too tricky as Tariq Brown comes up with an INT.
Well,
And despite that onside kick recovery, it's the Kelowna Owls offense who will go to work in the final minute.
and their star quarterback and defensive back is writhing on the ground on the far side of the field.
Oh, my. See if we can get another look at how he got that pass away.
Wow. There was huge pressure on him. Nate Boschman was all over him.
QB on QB violence. As a nice flea flicker, tremendous fake, but yeah, Boschman is just bringing the heat. Grabs him by the shoulder.
Oh.
He's got another guy grabbing him from behind as well. Went down hard, but it's behind the camera on the Subway replay.
Yeah, he got hit about 3 directions there.
As he was getting twisted, too.
Yeah.
So hopefully just winded, and we will see him return to this game because he has been one of the bright lights in it, certainly so far.
Well, Hunter is just such a tough player. He's so good on the field. Like, you want him on the field. He's one of those players as a coach that you get nervous when he's not out there. So something like this definitely hurts their game plan all around.
And it looks like it's his arm, which is obviously difficult for any player to come back from, but certainly no player more than the quarterback.
Yeah.
'Cause he's having no trouble walking to the sidelines. It's just,
Arm or stomach, one of the two.
yeah, that right arm or his rib cage perhaps. He is in a world of hurt right now. Meanwhile, Nate Boschman gets to go to work, and talking about running quarterbacks, Boschman going on a heck of a run, and he will be pushed out at the sidelines after a gain of, I don't know, started on his own 36, ended up at the 25.
Of the Bulldogs, yeah.
Close to 30 yards, if not more.
And this is exactly what I do as a coach or a football player is you see the star defensive back just got taken off the field. You run right where he would have been, and that's exactly what they did.
It was the 35 that he was pushed out of bounds at, so a gain of 29 on the carry. Remarkable stuff from Nate Boschman. Boschman will hand the ball off once again, and they will run it in the hands of Noah Gross, who's been a real contributor for Kelowna so far in this one, but unfortunately not only gets hauled down, the clock continues to run, though the Owls call timeout to put a halt to that.
Well, yeah, and I was looking at it, why aren't the Owls calling a timeout yet? Because 25 seconds left on the clock. I don't think they've used a timeout yet.
I don't think so either.
And you want to get some more points on the board here. I mean, if you're right now you're only trailing by 5, but if you could walk in there up by 2, that would be so much better.
Taking this opportunity to make sure that Kelowna executes as perfectly as they can in the situation. Time maybe for 3 at the max, but definitely 2 plays here for them to look down the field. Second down, 8 yards to go on the 33. Boschman likely looking to throw deep. He'll peel out to the right side and elect to run it himself. Gets wrapped up and hauled down as the forward momentum comes to a stop, and you would think his coach quick to call another timeout here.
Yeah. Oh, he is standing right in the ref's ear there going timeout, 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 timeout.
Well, let's take another look at this. I would think he was thinking pass early.
Yeah.
Just given the situation and the yardage that they need to come up with. But perhaps just didn't like what he saw.
Well, and he's got the wheels too, and he's done some damage with his feet. So it's a smart play there. He gets up almost to another first down. And like you said, they got 15 seconds here. If they're really quick, they got 2 plays.
Of course, they need to get a pass away that will either find the end zone or fall incomplete. An incompletion gives them a final shot at it on 4th down, but we shall see. Good news about that run from Boschman is it does bring him significantly closer to the end zone ultimately. Just curious for where they are in the game as Boschman gets the pass away, and it is complete to Nick Tanagai. And Nick Tanagai, you can see how happy he is, not just to bring that one in, but to add some yards after the catch as well.
Well, and I'm thinking to myself, go down quick and call your last time out here. But no, he stays on his feet, and he just foot races to the end zone. And this is huge for Kelowna because instead of trailing by a score, they're going in
with the lead. Of course, this is where the failed conversions come to haunt Belmont, as no matter what Kelowna does here, they already have the lead, and they add to it with a point after attempt that's good. 14-2, 7 seconds to go, and you know what, Matt? I think we, just like that defense, got taken in by the assumption that Boschman had to be looking deep to the end zone.
Yeah.
Instead, it's the short pass, complete to Tanagai, and he has no problem going the rest of the distance on his feet.
Yeah. No, it was a great passing catch there, and you can see the frustration down on the sideline on Hunter Bowles there because he knows that he wants to be out there on the field stopping that play, but instead he's on the sideline injured.
Trying to get a look at him along the sidelines here.
No,
he's on the trainer's table. Yeah, he's taking his equipment off too. Never a good sign.
No. Oh, no. He's on the bench, number 13 on the bench. He just got his helmet off.
Of course, right. And this time they do go deep as the Owls kick it away. And a great run already from Garen Hardesty, finally brought down at the 25, but showed some nice moves and some quick speed. Man, he can really turn on the Jets in a hurry.
Yeah. Excellent move. Nice little cut back there. Good spin. And he's wrapped up and taken down.
Just momentum just came to an abrupt halt as he ran into some bodies in front of him. Wasn't even in danger of being tackled. He just couldn't go anywhere given the traffic jam he was facing. But at the half, it is the Kelowna Owls who improbably have the lead on a late second quarter touchdown. Nate Boschman connecting to Nick Tanagai. And what a touchdown it was. We'll see what the third and fourth quarters have in store for us, but it's been an exciting game in the AAA Junior Varsity Final thus far. You are watching the 2018 Subway Bowl. It's the BC High School Football Championships on SportsCanada.TV and BCSS.TV as well. My name is Justin Morissette. He is Matt Macri. We got more game coming up for you in a little over 14 minutes' time. Go to the fridge, fix yourself a Dagwood sandwich. We'll talk to you soon.
7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check, check. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5. Yes. Checking, checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Checking. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Yes. Check. Yes. Hey, hey, hey. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You all good? Check, check.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Inside BC Place Stadium for the second half of the AAA Junior Varsity Final. It is the Kelowna Owls and the Belmont Bulldogs. Kelowna took the lead with not a lot of time left in that second quarter, and they find themselves ahead 14-12. But as this one gets underway, it's the Belmont Bulldogs having a heck of a kick return. But Hunter Bowles, the quarterback who's returning that kick, is beside himself as he thought he was going to get a little further than he was allowed to go.
Well, if he didn't step out of bounds there, he did have an open path. They cut off his room here, and great job just running down the line of blockers. You know, steps outside here, gets to the outside edge, and he's running well, and he just steps on the line there, and he thought he had it, thought he had the clean slate to the end zone.
Hunter Bowles takes the snap and pitches it over to Garen Hardesty, who emerged in the second quarter as a real target for the running game for the Bulldogs after barely getting any touches at all in the first.
Yeah, he's got a bit of speed to him. A really good job here. Nice little pitch, gets the ball quickly, gets turned upfield, but right into a defender. And he fights for a few extra yards after the contact, but not too much.
No surprise, really, considering what's on the line in this game, but this beginning of the third quarter does mark the return to action for Hunter Bowles, who left in the second after getting, I guess, hung up or just switched around and knocked to the ground. It was a twisty tackle that left him in just a rough place.
He got hit in three directions while being twisted and throwing the ball. It did not look comfortable whatsoever.
But good to see him back for this third quarter, of course, as they're going to try and force their way over the 44-yard line instead.
Yeah, they're gonna.
It looks like this one came loose.
No, they're gonna stop forward momentum here. He hits the pile here, and I think that's blind. No, it's hardest. He hits the pile here. Forward momentum stops. Then he gets thrown backwards. Then the ball comes loose. So as soon as his forward momentum stops, the play stops, and that ball's dead.
And it's the 46-yard line as well that they're pushing for to get the first down, but they give it to him. Surprising call for me, I thought.
It was close.
Weren't quite there, but they might have gotten to it and then got pushed back afterwards. Regardless, this time, ball handed off to Brennan Blondeau. Blondeau picks up maybe 2 on the carry, and he's pushed back towards the end once again.
Blondeau is such a tank here, and he comes flying in, but hits the wall of Owls. The Owls have realized they've got to stand up together to stop him or even just slow him down.
Diego Parada coming up with the tackle once again, as he's having himself a pretty solid game on the defensive side of things. Snap and a pitch over to the right side into the waiting hands of Garen Hardesty, and he's going to only grab about 3 on the carry, but there looked like room for more.
Jack Nyros gets him here right around the waist. Beautiful tackle, wrap and roll, takes him down decisively.
Nyros also a standout defensive player for the Owls so far in this one. Hunter Bowles.
Yeah. They're gonna
just trying to drag that one out to get a defensive player to jump, and he got it.
Yeah. That's probably going to give them enough for a first down here. It's going to be close, but I think it's going to be a first down. We made the defensive lineman there just to stick his head across the line. Yep, and that's going to be a first down for the Bulldogs.
That is a first down indeed. So 2 big stops in a row or at least keeping the Bulldogs to short yardage, I should say, negated by that penalty flag that'll move the chains. Ball now at the 35. As Bulls looks to keep this thing going. Has a man in motion. Takes the snap. Puts it over to that man in motion, and it's Garen Hardesty who gets rocked. Absolutely leveled by Nyros.
That was Nyros' guy, and Nyros was all over his guy. As the ball gets there, he turns to come upfield, and Nyros drops the shoulder and sends him for a roll. And 22, Brendan Blondeau's down on the trainer table there. He got up a little bit slow from that last run he had there, and he's pointing at his calf, and that's what it looks like they're working on right now. His foot, calf, whatnot. Could be cramping.
Well, it's been a little while since we've seen the Bulldogs go to Jordan Russell, and he was a key figure in their running game in the early stages of this one. As I say that, Hunter Bowles gets wrapped up and hauled down by Diego Prada once again.
Well, Prada gets around that outside edge, and it's the quarterback as well, Boscheman, that both get in there really fast and just annihilate Hunter before he could even decide what he wants to do with the ball. Throw it, run with it, hand it off.
Hunter Bowles deep in the pocket. We get the pass away.
I'm going to say no, incomplete.
And that was a short one. It was intended for Jordan Russell. Speaking of him.
Yeah, he got a lot of action in the first quarter, but then we haven't seen much of him since then. And they've gone mostly with Hardesty since that point.
And Hardesty's been working pretty well for them. It's just hard to believe, given how much offense and time on the field that Belmont has had, that they find themselves trailing in this game and have only put 12 points on the board. As they kick it away on 4th down, 4th and 16. That's the right move, of course, and the ball is touched by Hardesty to blow it dead, and the Owls will take possession.
Well, they lined up like they might run a play there with a quick drop kick by Bowles to get that ball off.
Very similar formation to what we saw from Windsor back in the AA final earlier today. In that 4th down, their kicking formation and their, just going for it formation looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
And that can be a good element of surprise as this game gets later into its final moments. In the meantime, however, we've got 7:16 remaining in the third quarter. And it's the Owls who start this drive on their own 21, try to run it on 1st down in the hands of Noah Gross. He's had great success so far today, but this time gets back to the line, and there are just so many Bulldogs there to stop him. Nearly 6 guys converge right on top of him.
He wasn't getting any blocking on that one, that's for sure.
Quinn Threlfall looked like he came away with the ball, but they said that it was blown dead already.
Well, and that's one of the things. The ball comes free, sure, but it's after forward momentum.
This time, however, it is a fumble recovery that's going to go the way of the Bulldogs. Loose ball in the backfield, jumped on immediately by Jordan Russell. And after seeing his touches diminish on the offensive side, he makes sure to get the most important touch of all on defense.
Well, Nate Boscheman here kind of flinches a bit on the snap. The snap came in a bit high, a bit hot, and 28, Caleb Schlachter was coming across on the jet, and it all just kind of, a perfect storm, I guess, for the Bulldogs. Went off his hands and then bounced straight out to Russell.
Flags on the play before Belmont can get going again.
Yeah, procedure call on Belmont here. So didn't we see this last week with Barsby? They got the big pictures down there on the sideline sending out the
Hunter Bulls wrapped up and pushed back. Ball came loose, but again, forward momentum had come to an end, so no fumble on that one.
Well, and his running back comes down on his left side, and he turns to his right and holds out the ball. So it was a miscommunication there. Definitely not on the same page on that play.
Second down, 8 yards to go from the 27. Bulls deep in the pocket, has one man back with him. Will hand it off straight to him, and that is Garen Hardesty again. But Hardesty with a loss on that one.
Well, number 75, Diego Parada here, does a great job just hooking onto that foot there and allows Boscheman to come over top and take him down.
Actually a pickup of 1 on the carry, but it wasn't 8 yards to go. I think the linesman on the digital score clock was making the same mistake as me, looking at the wrong stick on the sidelines. 18 yards to go.
For the first down. Yeah, no, it's going to be 4th and about 17 here right now. Or maybe even longer, 18. That's a big pickup.
And do you go for a field goal here? Do you have a kicker that you think can do that?
Well, and that's the thing. If they don't have a kicker, they might as well go for it because punting.
At this stage, why bother?
You know, it's going to be really tough to try and drop it in there before the end zone, and then they're just going to get it at the 20. So you might as well take your chance here, put the ball up in the air. We've seen some circus catches.
And we see another one, except it's an interception, and it goes the way of Noah Gross. There's a flag on the play, however.
Well, I think it's going to be unnecessary roughness on the guy tackling him. Now, let's see what happens here because Gross plays the ball really well. He gets in front of the defender, gets up there, and, yeah, it's going to be a face mask.
Yeah, wrapped up for a face mask.
So it's going to come out to the 20 and then go up 15 yards from there. As they talk about it a bit here to make sure they got the right call. But I'm pretty sure that ball's going to end up on about the 35-yard line.
Tremendous effort from Gross, who is having an outstanding game for Kelowna.
Yeah, just phenomenal. Yeah, so that's going to be the 35-yard line there.
Pass complete from Boscheman to Caleb Schlachter, and he lost his footing early in the carry, but still was able to add just about 20 yards, or at least 12 anyways, before getting hauled down. But he's slow to get back to his feet.
Yeah, he's not getting up very quick here. He catches the ball, comes down with it, fights through the one tackler, then loses his footing, and he's trying and just trips up over his own 2 feet. Number 24, who is Quinn Thrafall, came over top of him. It looks like he's cramping up there.
And it was about the 42 that he was able to shake that tackle. So an extra 12 yards on top of that before he hit the turf. Impressive carry, even if it's left him in a bit of a rough state for the time being.
Well, it's one of the worst problems that we have is that, you know, these young guys, they get out there and they're practicing, they're running around, they're playing football, and they're like, not thirsty. I'm not thirsty. I'm not thirsty. Well, by the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
Yeah.
And then you got the cramps, and then you got calf spasms, and those are the worst. I hate those.
And that might be what he's dealing with right now.
It looks like it. They're working on both his calves there.
No offense so far in the second half. Both teams have been within striking distance, but turnovers have been the story in the third quarter to this point.
They've definitely been their downfall. And Schlachter's working his way off the field, getting some more water in him, hoping they can work those cramps out of his legs.
Looks like you nailed it, Matt. Dehydration, the main issue, is he's just going to town on that water bottle.
And try to stretch out his legs now.
I'm sure we'll see him again before too long, but in the meantime, his quarterback, Nate Boschman, connects.
He step out right
with
around the 5.
Noah Gross. And Gross pushed out of bounds before he can reach the end zone, but that's the kind of sportsmanship that warms your heart.
Yeah. Well, here he comes. He catches this nice little outplay here. There's a great block. He gets turned up the field. Hunter Bowles comes to grab him, but then rolls off of him and hits the ground hard.
And, of course, Bowles already been shaken up in this game.
Yeah.
So Noah Gross quick to go over and make sure he's okay. And you know what? These are two teams that desperately want to beat each other, that want to walk away the victor here today, but they want to make sure they do it as well.
Yeah.
Against a full-strength team on the other side. Give me your best. Let me beat you that way. Noah Gross now getting wrapped up and hauled down for a loss behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Russell just stays with him all the way across the field. He does a really good job of just staying all the way and not letting him turn up the field. He had another defender over top of him there, but they didn't need it.
2nd and 4. Inside 1st and goal, obviously. But a loss of yards on that carry brings them back to the 6. Nate Boschman takes the snap. Look to the sky. All kinds of pressure coming his way. And speaking of pressure, Noah Gross was feeling it, but he was able to shake it off and find the end zone for his first touchdown of the game. It's the first point scored in the second half, and it extends the Kelowna lead to 20-12.
Well, Jason Alexander comes over top, but Noah Gross just ducks underneath the tackle, pulls himself out and turns around upfield and jumps into the end zone. He is losing his footing as he is going there, so he does a nice little dive just to make sure he gets the ball across the line before his knee hits the ground.
And Kelowna has been perfect on the extra point attempts to this point. And I jinxed them again. I'm just going to stop pointing things out, I think. Just describe what happens instead of what might continue to happen based on things we've seen so far.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one there. That was actually,
yeah.
I'm not sure how that happened. It looked like they just didn't snap it very well.
So is that it?
No, I think there was a penalty on it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought too, because nobody moved really as it happened.
Yeah.
I think everybody.
And they're putting it back where the ball's supposed to be. No penalty. Start it up again. Let's do this right.
Wow, bizarre.
Maybe it wasn't rolled or whistled in yet.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. This time the kick is away, and it's good.
There you go. So you didn't actually jinx it.
No.
They muffed it down there.
Yeah.
Deflect blame. Deflect blame.
Yeah, keep it away from me.
Oh, the coach of the Belmont Bulldogs down there on the sidelines trying to get his boys fired up. They're down by a score. Well, they're down by 9 points at this point. So they need at least 2 scores to get back in this game. And this Kelowna defense has done a great job of keeping them out. I mean, they've scored 2 touchdowns, yeah, but besides that, the Kelowna defense has done a great job of stepping up when it matters the most.
And they're going to need some big stops the next 15 minutes and 35 seconds if they want to hang on to this lead.
Yep.
Up by 9, so it is 2 scores. As the Bulldogs' inability to convert on point afters have stretched this lead further than they might like. Kelowna to kick it away. And I don't know if that was intended to be onside. It had a lot of power on it, but it was low to the ground, obviously.
I think it was a keep it away from Hunter type kick. They don't want to kick it deep because Hunter's running back pretty good on them and just about busted one right open. So kick it on the ground, kick it diagonally, get it to the up guy up in front of Hunter there, keep Hunter out of that play.
And a good call if that's the case. Riley Burfello not able to go very far with it. Pushed out of bounds at the 40.
Which is still pretty good
Yeah,
field
it's
position.
not bad field position at all. In fact, I think if Hunter Bowles had run it to the 40, he'd be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah.
And Bowles goes back to work. Handoff to Burfello. Burfello sweeping out to the left side. Pushed out of bounds. About 2 yards shy of the first, but a nice pickup on first down nevertheless.
Hey, Burfello there. Burfello comes all the way from this side of the field on the jet. Runs all the way across the field and only up about 7 yards or 6 yards there. But great effort and a lot of field to cover just to get those 6 yards.
Yeah, it's tough to spot where they go out of bounds, as we mentioned multiple times today, given that you can still see the sidelines for where the CFL field would be.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, when you get all those bodies in the way, I'm seeing white lines, and I can't tell which is which. But not quite as big of a pickup for Burfello as initially thought. They try to run it up the middle again, this time in the hands of Garen Hardesty, and he's still 2 yards shy of the first down, 3rd and 2. Snap back into the hands of Bowles, who will again hand it off to Hardesty. Hardesty wrapped up, but does he get it far enough? It's close, or maybe not as close as I thought. I think he just reached out his hands as he went down.
Yeah, he goes down here and then reaches out after the fact and gets kind of rolled ahead. So he made it back to the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. He's still about 2 yards short.
So 4th and 2 on the 48, their own side of center. Belmont Bulldogs need some points. It's not quite desperation time yet, but they're going for it on 4th down anyways. Why not? And that is a costly turnover. Fumble recovered by the Kelowna Owls.
Well, and it's not even that they turned it over at the 50-yard line going on for 4th down. The ball bounced all the way back to the 20. I guess about the 27. They're spotting it down here.
Pitch pass hits off the knees of Kieran Colton, and he's able to gather that one in and take it down to the 25.
Yeah. A great job there by Colton to get that ball and get it. And now Hardesty's coming over, holding his leg groin area, maybe a groin pull, pulled muscle there. Looking like he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he is just waddling his way back to the sidelines, having a hard time with his strides. And they're actually going to spot this one on the 28. So 1st and 10 from there. Actually, 27 as I get a better look at it on the big screen. But the Bulldogs elect to call a timeout with 1:57 to go here in quarter number 3. And I don't disagree necessarily with the call to go for it on 3rd down, or 4th down rather. Sorry, I'm used to going for it on 3rd down in this building ordinarily. But obviously not the way they wanted that one to go. And the coach looking mighty fired up in the huddle.
Yeah. I think the play call was a good call. The execution suffered on it. On those pitch plays, they've been able to pick up 3, 4, or 5 yards, and they only needed 2 yards.
Yeah, true.
So, and Hardesty has got the wheels to do it, but I think he was getting his engine running a little bit too quick there, trying to get around to the outside. And you got to secure the ball first. First and foremost, secure the ball.
Instead, it's the Kelowna Owls who go back to work on offense, and they are really in prime position to start this drive. 1st down from the 27 inside enemy territory, already up by 9. And Boschman will hand the ball off. Another big run for number 20, Noah Gross, and I don't know if he got hauled down. There's no flags on the play there. I didn't really like that tackle myself, but.
No, it looks like he grabbed him on the shoulder, not a horse collar here per se. But he grabs him on the shoulder and then wraps his legs around Noah Gross's legs and brings him down.
Clock continuing to run as Boschman comes out of the huddle, the lone man in the backfield. Nate Boschman takes the snap, peels out of the pocket over to the right side, elects to run it himself, and
he's in the end zone.
Waiting for the signal from the official. There it is along the goal line. Touchdown Owls. Kelowna has done it again. Their 2nd touchdown of the quarter, and their 2nd in quick succession at that.
Well, he does a good job of standing the defense up because he starts pointing down the field. And so now they're thinking, there's a receiver behind me. A couple of defenders actually turned right around on him. And it was number 38, Jordan Russell there, blowing a tire coming in on the contain and not being able to contain him.
Once again, kick is good.
Well, there's going to be a battle here on the Belmont sideline. Are they going to get on the field and battle and now come back down 2 scores, 16 points altogether?
Yeah, you need not just the touchdowns, but 2 successful 2-point converts as well.
Yeah.
I don't know that they have anyone who can kick field goals, so that's really the only way to come back in this one right now.
Yep. Well, you only got a $1.19 in the left in the 3rd quarter here. And once the 4th quarter gets going, it's going to be desperation mode.
But kudos to Kelowna. They have really kept an even keel all game long.
Yep.
Went down early. Didn't get a ton of time to put their offense on the field. Not just in the 1st quarter, but what felt like most of the 1st half. And it's easy to panic in a situation like that. They have just been smooth and steady all game long, and it's paying off for them here in the 3rd. Bouncer of a kick comes to Riley Burfello, and Burfello just smacked down by the quarterback, Nate Boschman.
Well, and here you go. This is what I really hate on the kick returns is when they start running across field. So Burfello gets it here. He's at about the 28-yard line. Runs backwards. Boschman gets a hold of him on the 25. So not only he could have gotten ahead 3 or 4 yards, gone up to the 30-yard line. Now he's 5 yards back, and he didn't go anywhere.
Loss of yards for that defensive maneuver. You are correct. Well, I guess it's an evasive maneuver on offense. Trying to avoid contact, instead surrendered yardage. And speaking of that, Hunter Bowles could not avoid the contact, and he surrenders yardage. Sacked in the backfield. Big tackle from Everett Schmulland.
Well, and they just get in there so quick and wrap him up and take him down so quick. No time for Hunter to even figure out what he wanted to do with that ball one more time.
Second down, 15 to go. Loss of 5 on the sack. Hunter Bowles takes the snap, dodges the pressure, tries to run out of the pocket, but 2 other guys closing the gap on him. And a second consecutive sack for the Owls, as the offense that was rolling pretty well earlier in this game, Matt, for the Bulldogs, is starting to come unglued. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the change in the game, both in terms of who had the momentum and the way things were going for this Bulldogs offense, directly coincides with number 22, Brennan Blondeau, leaving the game for Belmont.
Well, he came back in a couple of times there. He's on the sideline with his helmet off, taking a knee now. And I've seen him come out on the field a couple of times, but they haven't given him back the ball. I mean, I think the change of momentum happened when, in the end of the second half, when Kelowna got that score to go ahead with very little time left on the clock, and they went into that locker room fired up. They realized that they can do this. Their defense is coming out in the second half and just giving Belmont complete fits. They can't seem to do anything. And now once again, Hunter Bowles got taken down 3 different directions. He got wishboned out there. And he's laying on the field. The Belmont offense just can't get rolling because his Kelowna defense is full fired up.
Hunter Bowles has already left the game at one point. We saw, of course, a moment earlier where Noah Gross was quick to check up on him after he tumbled into the sidelines on a tackle attempt as well. And you've talked about this multiple times already throughout the morning, but I mean, this is the danger that you run into when you are playing your quarterback in every situation. And obviously the Owls are doing that too. But he's going to take some bumps and bruises, and they might add up over the course of the game.
And I totally get the philosophy that your quarterback is typically your best athlete on the field. Typically. And so you want to play him in multiple situations. You want to always have him on the field. You feel confident when he's out there. But you need him under center. That's where the team needs him the most. So you let him get out there to take the snap. And when he's not taking snaps, you wrap him in bubble wrap. You stick him on the bench. And you don't let anybody else touch him.
Keep him in mint condition, still in the packaging on the sidelines. Though, to be fair, both of his big bumps have come on the offensive side of the ball.
I was just going to say that to completely disprove my theory. He hasn't been hurt on special teams or defense.
Did take that mean tumble, though, when he tried to tackle Noah Gross, but he stayed in the game after that.
Yeah. No, this one here, he's looking pretty rough.
Yeah. Don't like the looks of this.
And they're bringing out the golf cart for him here.
I think that golf cart might be unrelated.
Oh.
Just going for a drive along the sidelines. Which is a good sign. Oh, no you're right. Yeah, the medical cart is coming out onto the field now.
The mash cart.
And this is not the way you want to see the day come to an end for a player so pivotal to the Belmont offense.
You got Brendan Blondeau down on one knee without a helmet on there. Hunter Bowles having some troubles getting up.
They have gotten some good performances on the offensive side throughout the day from Jordan Russell and Riley Berfello and Baudry Palis and Garrett Hardesty especially, but there's no question that Blondeau and Bowles are the two keys to this O.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time seeing them come back in this one without those two guys back in the game.
Wow. Wasn't until Drew Bledsoe got hurt before Tom Brady got to shine, right?
That's true. That's true. Every injury creates opportunity.
Yeah.
Every coach in any sport will be quick to tell you that.
When I saw the coach talking to 15 on the sideline, and he's throwing the ball, warming up with one of the linemen there. So I don't know if that's who's going to go in there. He doesn't look like a big guy, but he's got a bit of an arm.
Simon Hales. And the way they're trailing and the yardage they're needing to come up with, it might be Simon Hales Mary for the rest of this game. We'll see. But it is always difficult to see this sort of thing. We're going to take a quick timeout here and come back once play resumes. You're watching the Subway Bowl. It is BC High School Football Championships for 2018 live from BC Place Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back inside BC Place Stadium. My name is Justin Morissette. Matt Macri up in the booth with me as well. It's the Junior Varsity AAA Final, the Subway Bowl on Championship Saturday, and we're back with you after a lengthy injury timeout that saw one of the best players in this game get stretchered off the field, and very scary times watching that. Our best to Hunter Bowles, and it was tough to watch how long that went on, Matt.
Yeah, it's hard when you see, especially the young guys like this. You see them on the field there, and they're not moving, and you get the medical staff around them. You can't go down and ask what's going on. And you just got to sit here and worry about them. And I've known Hunter for a lot of years. I know his mom quite well. Yeah, it makes you kind of stop and think.
They're going to say that time ticked off at the end of the third, and this will be the start of quarter number 4. Fresh into the game at quarterback in place of Hunter Bowles is Simon Hales. And Hales wrapped up and brought down on his first possession of the game.
When Hales gives up some size, definitely out down there on the field. And, this is a situation where your starting quarterback gets knocked out of the game. You got to have somebody back there that can fill in for him.
As the Belmont Bulldogs looking for a little noise from the crowd. They're going to kick this one away from deep in their own end, and the punt only gets as far as the 38. Tariq Brown on the return, hauled down before he can go anywhere by Riley Berfello.
This puts Belmont in a really bad situation here. I mean, they're trailing by 16 points. They haven't been able to get the offense rolling in the second half here at all. And now they're probably their best player is just been carted off the field. It's not looking good.
1st and 10 from the 36. Snap back to Nate Boscheman. Boscheman going to run it himself. Found a huge hole and is able to get to the 23 or so.
Well, he was taking that ball and running with it the whole way there. And he does a great job just kind of deking in and out there. Finally gets wrapped up, but he picks up a first down on the play, and I think, about the 23-yard line.
Calling it 1st and 10 from the 22. As Kelowna looking to add more offense to a 16-point lead they already enjoy.
Well, it's a big break like that. It's tough on both teams. I mean, the muscles get cold. Hopefully the players are getting lots of water because you don't want any cramping going on here. And Belmont's going to call a timeout just to settle down their defense and get everybody focused on what they're supposed to be doing.
And just a scary moment for everybody in this building, really. I mean, a hush kind of fell over the crowd, and, that stoppage went on for nearly half an hour.
Yeah.
It really takes everybody out of it to kind of witness the frightening side of this sport.
Well, the reality is it's a full contact, high impact sport.
Absolutely.
Injuries happen. And the kids play it because of the fact that it's a high impact, full contact sport.
What makes it exciting on some level as well, yeah.
Yeah, but you got with the reward comes the risks. And trust me, like I said, I've known Hunter and his mom for a lot of years, and he'll be back on the field. He'll risk it again. Health providing, he'll be back on the field as soon as he can.
And we hope he makes a quick recovery. Owls offense back on the field. Nate Boscheman, nobody in the backfield with him, puts the ball up, and it is complete. Another touchdown pass to Noah Gross, who is having himself just a disgusting game.
It's been gross. It's actually been fabulous for Noah here. And Boscheman, just a beautiful throw here. Gross gets so far behind the defender, he doesn't even have to hustle into the end zone. He can just stroll right in. Great separation, beautiful ball, and it's a touchdown.
And Noah Gross has been running the ball well. He's been a great receiver. There's really nothing he's not doing for this offense other than throwing the ball himself. So,
and on defense, he's been out there too, making plays.
Absolutely.
So
one of the marquee players in this game, Nate Boschman, has been fine as well.
You can't discount Caleb Schlachter, who's had a bang up of a day as well.
Absolutely. Open scoring. First touchdown of this game. And he's been making plays on the defensive side as well.
So
Big Caleb Schlachter. You just saw a quick shot of the Owls on the sidelines, and he just towers over his teammates.
Yeah, he's a tall guy. I met him last spring, and he's definitely got some height to him. And now Belmont Bulldogs are going to want to get out there and put the pedal to the metal per se. They're going to have to get this offense rolling. It's been really stalled here in the second half, and they're going to want to get something done. I mean, it's been impressive, though. I mean, not so much that the Belmont offense, but the Owls defense has just been smothering in the second half. I mean, right in the first half, they were good. In the second half, they've been great.
As Kelowna gets ready for kickoff. I think this one's going the distance. No, another little bouncer. Taken in by the Bulldogs at their own 38.
Oh, I don't have that number on my sheet. Number 59 for Belmont Bulldogs there. Does a great job, just goes up there, gets the ball, brings it, and sits down with it.
He's their kicker. He was the guy trying to get the crowd to make some noise before they punted the ball away on last possession. But, yeah, a number that is not on our sheet, unfortunately. As this Bulldogs offense goes back to work, 10:31 remaining in the fourth quarter, trailing by 23. Hales puts the ball away.
And he brought it in.
Tipped off the receiver and intercepted by who else but Noah Gross. Talk about the plays he's making on offense. How about that one right there?
That was nuts. I mean, it was a big volleyball. The ball goes flying up in the air, and he had to be about 10 yards away, but comes running in hard and dives, picks it off with one hand, drags it in the second hand, and controls it all the way out of bounds.
Hales was trying to connect with Jason Alexander. Instead, it just bounced off his hands and straight into the air.
It wasn't a bad throw. I mean, it was
not at all.
It was pretty much right there, but it just, like you said, right off his hands.
That puts the ball back in the hands of Nate Boschman, and this Owls offense on the 35-yard line is what was once a very even game is being blown wide open by Kelowna. And speaking of, Noah Gross finds a hole. He'll bust that wide open. Ball comes loose, but he's already out of bounds.
Yeah, he's a good job here. Gets to the outside, steps inside, stands the defense up, gets around the one defender. The second defender, number 16, who's Baudry Payless, holds on and just rides him out of bounds.
We were remarking on the sportsmanship of Gross earlier as well, as he was checking in on Hunter Bowles back earlier in the third quarter before the injury.
Well,
as he went down there, he had his arm up just waiting for somebody to help him up. And nobody from Belmont wanted to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
A teammate run in from way out of nowhere.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. He's one of the first to help people up, but he's got his hand in the air. You should give him a hand.
I would say so, but of course, I'm sure the Belmont Bulldogs have more on their mind than that at this stage of the game. Not just in terms of what the score is on the board, but of the troubling sight they saw with their quarterback, Hunter Bowles, assisted off the field on a stretcher.
And their cheer squad's getting the crowd fired up there and trying to keep them into it. They're doing a good job out there.
Just a fun little wrinkle to the game presentation, right?
Yep.
It's like G.W. Graham in the last game had a marching band that added all kinds of color and, entertainment to an already very entertaining game. What a run from Nate Boschman. Finally gets the ball away, and the pass is complete. Caleb Schlachter opened the scoring. He gets a second touchdown with 8:41 remaining in the fourth.
Great job by Boschman here on the rollout, and he sees Schlachter coming across and just puts it out. Schlachter has to run into it, bring it in, and
Flag on the play, going to negate the TD.
Oh, is it going back? It is. It's going backwards. You see here he goes down, and the ball is actually out here. But he gets stepped on at the end of that play there, too.
I was convinced that Boschman was going to run that in himself.
I thought so. It looked like he was going to go for a run, but he saw Schlachter was doing a great job of getting open and trying to help his quarterback out there by coming across the back of the end zone. And when Boschman saw that, it was like perfect. And the fact that Schlachter was moving, he could lead him with that throw as well.
See if they can do it again. Second and long now, 15 yards to a first, and even longer to the end zone if they want to score once more. As Boschman rolls out of the pocket, he's got 3 men chasing him.
Oh,
nearly did it again.
Yeah, and I don't know about that one. I think that push was a little bit early.
He was looking for Aiden Vint, and as has been the case so often in this game, whenever he looks for Vint, just something not quite right.
Yeah.
Whether it's the ball is overthrown or underthrown or...
maybe perfectly timed shove, actually.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was a perfectly timed shove.
Tough break for Vint, who's been in the right position more often than not, but is still looking for his first reception of the day.
He's made some plays on defense.
Certainly has.
Yeah, but he still wants to get that catch.
Nate Boschman. Thought he could draw the defense there, but they bit, just no encroachment. Instead, we've got a carry and a flag on the play as Schlachter's finally brought down.
But I think it's going to be a face mask penalty here. Schlachter's hand went to his mask just after a hand went up there. And it looks like frustrations are starting to ebb up here a bit. But it's definitely going to be a face mask on the defense, yeah. Right there, yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. I understand it's a frustrating day for Belmont. They came out here, they got the lead, they were trucking along nicely, and then the wheels have come off the truck per se. But you gotta keep that frustration under control because there's no way you're getting back in this game if you start getting stupid penalties.
That was Riley Burfello called for the face mask, and to his credit, as I got a second look at it on the replay, it looked like he was just trying to grab onto anything, and as soon as he realized what he was doing, he let go instantly. But too little, too late.
Yeah.
As on fourth down,
they're going to go for a field goal.
Kelowna going to go for a field goal. Kick is away, and
look good.
It's good.
It looked good from here, but I don't want to call it anymore because I've been wrong.
We've been wrong so many times.
This angle's not the greatest.
But a good kick. Not a ton of height on it, but just enough to get it through the uprights. There you go. And the Owls extend their lead once again. 38-12 with 8 minutes to go here in quarter number 4.
And anybody that's tuning in looking for the the AAA games or the varsity AA game. We're probably a good hour behind. They were supposed to start at 4. Probably won't get going until 5 o'clock here. From the looks of things, we had an epic AA junior varsity game. 96 points scored, just unbelievable.
Highest scoring game in BC high school football history, at least as far as finals go.
And then on top of it, 97-minute half to start the game. And then we had an injury here that took a half hour to take care of the young man who was hurt. And so we're sitting here at least an hour behind.
As the kick comes straight to Baudry Palis, and he can't go very far on the return before he's wrapped up and hauled down. They did try to take some time off the clock to compensate because I thought there was about 1:40 or so still left in the third quarter that they just lopped off, and when play resumed, just brought us right back to quarter number 4.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's not very much when you're trying to make up an hour that we have fallen behind on the game schedule. Great entertainment, though, for the folks in attendance here at BC Place.
Oh,
certainly in that last game.
It's been some phenomenal football today. That grade A game started out with some really, really good football.
And I don't want to let that injury stoppage put a sour taste in the mouth of what this game has had to offer as well, because Kelowna has been terrific, really, just excellent.
Yeah, and Belmont as well. I mean, they played very good defense in the first half.
Came out just roaring out of the gate in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's just been the second half. The young man that got hurt, Hunter Bowles, he got hurt just before the half as well. He came off the field, and that seemed to just take the wind out of their sails. And right there you see that almost catch by Berfello, that where he was in the wide open. Those passes were hitting in the first half for Belmont.
Absolutely.
So this second half has been a bit of an ordeal for them, and they just haven't been able to get their game going.
I mean, Hunter Bowles was engineering huge drives that not only ended in touchdowns, but took just all kinds of time off the clock.
Yeah.
They barely let Kelowna get their offense out on the field.
Yeah, 3 drives in the first quarter. 2 for Belmont, 1 for Kelowna.
And it was a similar story for much of the second as well.
Oh.
As a pass intended for Riley Berfello escapes his grasp once again, bringing up 4th down.
Well, they got number 3 in at quarterback. I don't have his name on my sheet, or I'd tell you who he is. And I'm guessing he probably doesn't get a lot of snaps because, it's a position that Hunter Bowles plays regularly. So without the familiarity, the repetitiveness of the quarterback position, it makes it tough.
Was Simon Hales earlier, but they've switched him out for, again, a player that is not listed on our roster. As they get into the QB depth here in the absence of Hunter Bowles, who is obviously just so important to this team.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same when he came back for quarter number 3, but he was trying his best just to stay in it for the sake of his teammates. And things going sideways for them in the 4th without him here.
Well, and the defense, too, they came out. It looked like 2 different defenses from the first half to the second half. They went into the locker room, and I think the coach talked to them and discussed with them. I use the term discussed quite liberally here, what they were doing on defense, because when they came out in the second half, it was a way more pressure, way more aggressive defense.
Our digital scoreboard not quite correct at the moment. If you're just joining us, it should be 38-12. Kelowna with 5 touchdowns and a field goal on the day. And there's a flag on that play as the Bulldogs go for it on 4th down.
This might be enough to get them a first down here.
We'll see if this penalty can keep their drive alive. That's pass interference.
Yeah, so it's going to be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. So
Automatic first down.
Yep, put it up there.
Passing game wasn't doing them any favors, but a penalty will give them a first down nevertheless. 1st and 10 from the 48. Inside enemy territory.
There's that defense. I was just talking about it.
Just smothering.
Yeah, they're coming in fast and hard. I don't know if maybe the O-line's getting a little tired and they're not getting up to block the edges as fast as they were in the first half.
Diego Parada has been so good on this defense as well. You can see him in the area of the tackle, but wasn't the one to do it that time.
Yeah.
Said his name several times, though, in this game.
Yeah.
Tariq Brown as well has just been excellent.
Oh, he's gotten such good pressure on today. Oh, and there they are again.
Looking for a strip. Instead, it's another sack. 7 yards lost on that first sack, and even more here again.
We're going to be looking at 3rd and about 25 yards.
Yeah, this is the Bulldogs just pinned way, way back.
Yeah. No, at this point here, I mean, the Bulldogs are trying to get something going, and I don't think you're going to see them give up per se, but it's just frustrating that no matter what you're trying here, you just can't get that ball moving forward, and they keep going backwards. Oh, and here comes Blondeau, was able to get a little screen pass there, but the defender was right beside him and able to take him down to the ground. Picked up a few yards there, but it's still going to be, about 18 yards for a first down.
And that's a big ask on 4th.
On 4th and 18. And drops back. Ball's in the air. Oh, great defensive play.
Yeah.
Number 24 there. Aiden Vint came over top, and the intended receiver was Berfello, but Aiden Vint was able to come over in front of him and just knock the ball out of his hands.
And Berfello now down on the field, having a hard time getting back to his feet. Teammate there to help him up, but he was favoring his shoulder as he went down after that one.
Yeah, no, he went down hard.
And again, we were talking about Aiden Vint not that long ago and how he keeps waiting for his first reception of the day, but you said it at the time, Matt. He's been very strong on defense all game long. And another one right there.
And here comes Boschman out again. He's just been a field general. Done so well out there today. Thrown the ball, run the ball. He ran one in earlier, too, for a touchdown, didn't he? Yeah, Boschman up there, number 7.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. Ran one in himself and has had a number of great runs.
You know.
Puts the ball back in the hands of Noah Gross.
I think that was a different running back.
Actually,
that's 36.
yeah, it's 36.
First time we've seen him. Jake Schlachter.
Another Schlachter.
Another one. Well, there you go. Picked up about 5 yards on that run there. Well, maybe 6 yards. Maybe 2nd and about 4.
And you have to think that the Owls just want this one done and dusted. Keep this clock running. Keep running this ball.
Couple first downs and they're out of here.
Nate Boschman takes the snap, rolls out of the pocket to the right side, gets the ball in the air right before he crosses the line of scrimmage. He was looking to connect with Aiden Vint. And once again, just something. He was in the right spot again. He's running his routes pretty well. It's just overthrown or underthrown, or there's too much defensive coverage in the way.
A late flag there, too.
Yeah, wonder what that's about.
I think he's coming back. I think the Kelowna's going to be marched back for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So maybe Aiden Vint didn't come up with the catch, but had a clever line he wanted to get out on the way back to the huddle. It was going to cost his team some yardage instead.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand all those hand signals there, but it looks like it's marching back 15 yards, and it's going to be still second down. So instead of 2nd and 4, it's going to be 2nd and 19.
Let's see what the Owls can do with this. There we go. The right score is finally up on the board. I thought I was going crazy for a second there. 38-12. That's what I thought. Nate Boscheman takes the snap, will hand the ball off. Owls going to run it. Put it back in the hands of number 36, Jake Schlachter.
It's good here to see that they're spreading the ball around. They got the lead here. They got a commanding 26-point lead here in the dying minutes, and they've got some of the younger guys subbing people out and putting some of the younger guys back in there.
May as well spread it around, let everybody get some touches, feel like they are a part of this offense and contributors to what looks like is going to be a 2018 Junior Varsity AAA Championship. Always a nice thing to be able to do that at the end of the game, right?
Yeah, here's a big kick.
The guys who are such important parts of practice and work so hard all day long, all season long, just like the starters. Those are important teammates. And, and it's nice to be able to give them a reward late in a game like this one.
Well, yeah, they're out there day in and day out in the practices, and it's what gets your team to the point where they can put a lead up, a 26-point lead in the fourth quarter, and you get your time at that point, and that's what you show up for practice for. That's what you're out there being the tackle dummy during drills. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
So the punt there by, I do believe it was Boschman that kicked that ball too. Put the Bulldogs back on their 21-yard line. Number 3 stepping back in at quarterback. Wish we had his name on here. He's done a decent enough job.
It makes it difficult to call the play when you don't know the name of the most pivotal position on the offense.
Yeah.
But whoever he is, he's scrambling out of the pocket right now and gets hauled down for another big loss. And showing some frustration after another sack.
Yeah, no, he's definitely frustrated. They're not getting the blocks. I don't know what's happening out there because that O-line was doing so well in the first quarter. Hasn't done anything here in the second half to help get this team moving forward. I don't know if they're gassed or the defense is just that good that they're getting past them.
26-point spread on the board between these two teams right now. 50 points scored in this game total. As a pretty solid run from Jason Alexander. Gets back inside the sticks after that sack brought them way back. 2nd and 6. Or 3rd and 6, rather.
Oh.
Handoff. put the ball in the hands.
I think it was Alexander one more time there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Number 53 slow to get up there. Michael Simard. They, and it's one thing, like I said, this defense for the Owls in the first quarter, they weren't like this. Second quarter, they were a bit better. But the start of the second half, they've just been ears back, pressure on the quarterback, making plays in the backfield. They've been driving that ball so far backwards every series. It's just making it easier for their offense.
And kudos to whatever adjustments were made by the coaching staff at the half because, yeah, it's not like they were ever bad at any point in this game, but they went from good to elite in the second half.
Yeah.
And with the pass incomplete, that will likely do it for this one. Just 9 seconds left, but of course an incomplete pass can stop the clock for the time being.
Yeah.
One more play to go on fourth down for this Belmont offense.
Well, that was fourth. This would be first down for the
turnover on downs. My mistake.
The Kelowna Owls here.
So Kelowna just needs to take the snap, go to victory formation, and this one's in the books.
Well, Belmont's got to be proud of the year they have. I mean, they're playing in the provincial final here in BC Place. They got to be proud of the season they had. I mean, it didn't go the way they wanted it to today, but they did a good job this season.
And that'll do it. Nate Boscheman takes the knee, throws the ball over to the sidelines. Somebody's hanging on to that one. That Baden game ball going to find a nice home. I would assume in some kind of glass display case inside Kelowna Secondary School, because the Owls are your 2018 Junior Varsity AAA champions here at the Subway Bowl at BC Place. And some life back in this building for the first time since that lengthy injury timeout, as the Kelowna fan base just goes nuts.
Well, I think the Bateman and the Vernon fan base are cheering too, because now they can get their game going.
The game is over. They're here an hour late, really.
Yeah.
Is when their game's going to get going, when it's all said and done. We had some lengthy games at the junior varsity level, and we'll see what the rest of the night has in store for us in both the double and AAA varsity games. Trophy presentations coming up in just a second. I don't even know, actually, who. I guess Noah Gross probably would be my choice for MVP.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He's just had such a great day. Offense and defense, he's just making plays all over the place. I mean, you could go with Boscheman. I'd give him an award too. And then you want to flip it over to the Belmont side and look at who really made some differences out there. I mean, Hunter Bowles was until he got injured. Hardesty definitely had some great runs. But it was Blondeau, I think, had a really good game as well.
Outstanding lineman, outstanding back, and MVP are the awards yet to come. I might go Boscheman is outstanding back, Gross is MVP.
Yeah.
And then lineman, I'm not sure.
Well, as you know, number 78 over on, Diego Parada was excellent day long.
He really was.
But over on the other side, you got number 78, Riley Sheffer, who's making some huge plays over there. But I saw him a couple of times being the voice of reason, because you can see in the Belmont guys, the frustrations was getting there. He's stepping in front of his own guy going, no, that's not how we do things. Come on. And I really got to give him a lot of props there, because, he was really the voice of reason for the rest of his team.
A leader on the line as the Kelowna Owls huddle over to the trophy table and get their photos taken after a day they will remember for the rest of their lives. And it might not be the only one played in this building that they remember forever.
No, that's a solid junior varsity team right there. I think they'll be back.
And whether they're back at this level or as seniors playing in the varsity tournament, we will have to wait and see as the years go by. But one heck of a performance from Kelowna. One heck of a team as well.
And the Subway Monkey down there presenting the trophies. Called it.
There you go. Riley Sheffer for the Belmont Bulldogs as your outstanding lineman in this game. Nice eye, Matt.
Yeah, no, he made some great plays out there. And, you notice the plays, but you notice the sportsmanship, too. And he had some really good sportsmanship. It was good on him.
Lineman, of course, always doing the subtle things.
Yeah.
That it takes the trained eye to really notice. As the outstanding back goes to Noah Gross, which means he's likely not to be our MVP here today. And honestly, I'm stunned.
Well, it's got to be Bolshevin that's the MVP
yeah.
then. I think you could have gone either way with those two.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They both had great games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to take nothing away from Boschman.
Yeah.
It's just Noah Gross. My goodness. Did it all today.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
So we called the three of them. We got a little mixed up there, but at least we called all three.
A little confusion with the envelopes, but we had the right names is what I'll say. Congratulations to them. Congratulations as well to the Belmont Bulldogs. It's a disappointing showing for them on Championship Saturday, but they put in a ton of hard work to get here, and I'm sure that they will appreciate these memories as the years go by.
Well, and they can walk away going, if we didn't lose Hunter, we would have had him.
Absolutely.
They got to know. They got to know.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to check on Hunter and make sure he's okay.
All right. Well, that will do it for us here from BC Place Stadium. My name is Justin Morissette. He is Matt Macri. There's 2 more games coming your way, but we will not be the voices to bring them to you. No, it will be Jake Elliott on the call, and he is joined by BC Lions quarterback Travis Lulay. So look forward to that. The AA and AAA varsity finals still to come. You've been watching the Subway Bowl. It's the 2018 BC High School Football Championships live from BC Place Stadium. Thank you so much for spending your sports Saturday with us. 2 more games yet to come. Don't go anywhere. The first of those 2 games, the AA final, is set to get going in just over 8 minutes' time.